Just a quick reminder to anybody who really doesn't know that before the pandemic began, we had 2 in-person services on Sunday. We had a midweek service. We used to have classes physically at our center. We had a kids program going on. And then when the pandemic hit, a lot of that shut down. So we took what we could online. And Reverend Lisa and I decided that another way to stay in touch with our community was to just have a little 5, 10, 15-minute broadcast every day, one in the morning, one in the evening, to keep people in touch. Because I don't know if you remember back then, but when the pandemic hit, everybody was pretty well housebound. So we thought it was a good idea just to keep in touch. And then when the pandemic went away and we started meeting in person again, we decided it would be a good idea to keep these things going. So that's the origin of these daily readings. The one from me, somewhere in the region of 5 o'clock in the evening, and the one from Reverend Lisa about 9:15 in the morning. As I said, she's much more consistent with her time than I am, because 5 o'clock in the evening, especially during the week, I can't predict what I have to do, because mediations come, mediations go, other things come and go. So anyway, there you are. So let's get on with today's reading. And just as a quick reminder, whatever channel you're seeing this on, it's being brought to you by Creative Life Spiritual Center in Spring, Texas, of which I am one of the 5 ministers. We have a senior minister, 3 assistant ministers, and a staff minister. So create a meaningful life. How about that? First quote is attributed to Neil Donald Walsh, which, of course, as you know, means they don't know. They think he said it. I think he's still around. Somebody should ask him. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. That could have equally been said by my late great mentor, Bob Proctor, who talked quite a lot about comfort zones. And in fact, he wrote a poem about comfort zones. And if I can find that quickly, I'll read it out to you. And Ernest Holmes says, life is for today. There will be no change for tomorrow unless we do the changing today. Today is God's day, and we must extract from it what of life we are to live. And that's from Creative Mind. And it's on page 46. Well, let me quote one of my favorite composers here. When Mozart was asked, why do you create music? His response was, because I have to. What do you have to? What excites you? What brings you joy? What makes time stand still when you're doing it? Someone once said, we all have a calling to create a life like a work of art. We each are unique. And just as there's only one Mona Lisa and one Sistine Chapel, a unique gift to the world resides within each one of us. And if we don't give it, guess what? It will be lost forever. Barbara Angelis tells us that when we pay attention to our life as it's unfolding, we experience real moments, called living in the moment, right? That is when you feel fully alive and fully present. Some people have called it being in the zone. I forgot the name of the guy. His name is about 3 miles long, but you've probably heard of it, about being in the zone. Yeah. When we spend our life preparing for the future rather than enjoying the present, we postpone our happiness. If we postpone it for too long, we lose our ability to experience joy. Years ago, researchers found that to create a meaningful life, all we need to do is to wake up to ourselves. We need to know that the meaning for which we search is inside of us. It awaits our recognition. The Dalai Lama reminds us, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So once again, the question, we talked about this the other day, really. What do you like doing? I mean, what do you really, really, really like doing? I'm sweating because we're having an AC issue right now. This came out supposedly twice to fix it. We didn't have a problem with the cooling before they came. We had a problem with the compressor continually running. Now the compressor is not continually running, but neither is the AC continually running or running often enough. So anyway, so I am sweating and I'm under 2 lots of lights here, which really doesn't help either. But that's beside the point. So what do I like doing? I like speaking in front of groups of people. I know that's kind of wild. I'm a member of Toastmasters. I really like being up there and performing. I like to be an MC in a meeting, like Toastmaster in Toastmasters, or general evaluator. I like to be out there kind of in front of a crowd and just moving it along. I love doing that. And I get to do it sometimes as a minister as well. So the all things kind of come together. So that's a bit of what I like doing. What did I like doing when I was younger? I used to love rock climbing. I really did. I have all my life loved reading, whether it's reading books or reading right now the digital version, which is more of what I do actually. But I also, once I get into working with spreadsheets, I like it. I know that's kind of wacky, but I don't like to start, but once I get into it, I really like it. I like helping people. I really do like helping people. That's part of my calling in life. So, and there's lots of other things. So the question really is, if you've never thought about it before, what do you like to do? What brings you joy? Because that which brings you joy is going to be your calling in life. And you may have a bunch of things. You may have lots of callings. Some people are called to be athletes, right? Some people are called to be sports superstars. Well, they're called to be sports people, and some become superstars, Some love podcasting. And some love cooking. Some just think it's phenomenal. That's what they love to do in life. They love to cook. And my wife likes to make things, from sewing stuff. She likes to do that. She loved, embroidering stuff. And she really loved quilting at one time. So those are some examples. And it's not selfish when you do it, because when you feel good, you put that energy out into the universal and the group subjective mind, and you are indirectly helping other people. So anyway, that's my story for today. I don't know if I can actually find that. Let's see if I can pull it up. Well, something's coming. Oh, here it is. Here's the comfort zone. This is courtesy of the late great Bob Proctor. He says, I used to have a comfort zone where I knew I wouldn't fail. The same 4 walls and busy work were really more like jail. I longed so much to do the things I'd never done before, but stayed inside my comfort zone and paced the same old floor. I said it didn't matter that I wasn't doing much. I said I didn't care for things like commission checks and such. You can see where he wrote it. I claimed to be so busy within and inside this zone, but deep inside I longed for something special of my own. I couldn't let my life go by just watching others win. I held my breath. I stepped outside and let the change begin. I took a step, and with new strength I'd never felt before, I kissed my comfort zone goodbye and closed and locked the door. If you were in a comfort zone, afraid to venture out, remember that all winners were at one time filled with doubt. A step or two and words of praise can make your dreams come true. Reach for your future with a smile. Success is there for you. And that was the comfort zone, courtesy of Bob Proctor. And I am getting really hot right now, so I'm going to read 2 affirmations today from Rev Ron. In this moment, I move within and allow myself to feel the joy of being alive. In this moment, I move within and allow myself to feel the joy of being alive. I bask in the glow of knowing that I have a unique gift to share. I bask in the joy, in the glow of knowing that I have a unique gift to share. And that is my contribution for today, folks. Reverend Lisa will be on with hers on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page tomorrow at 9:15-ish. And on that same channel, Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page will be our weekly service at 11, where Reverend Jesse will give an uplifting talk for anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes. So, and I promise you, it will be uplifting. It's not going to be one where he points the finger at you and says what you should and shouldn't do. No, it will be uplifting. It will be positive. It will be uplifting, but it will also be honest. So please tune in. So until next time, namaste.